Hey guys, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and this time we've got the pleasure of watching Q, I believe that's how I meant to say that name, playing in the Tier 10 Soviet medium tank, the Object 430. As you may know, if you've watched some of my more recent videos on this tank, it's definitely one of my favorites in the game at the moment. The highest DPM on any medium tank in the game, with a base DPM of 3000. And when you start to put a bunch of food, gun rammer, vents, Brothers in Arms, all of that kind of good stuff on this tank, then you really start to push it up to more like 3,600, possibly even 3,800 DPM. That is absolutely monstrous. You're starting to get up into the realms of where you're killing mouses per minute, or mouse tanks per minute, however you want to put it. So, Q has made his way into the center of the map on mines, and he's taken actually quite an interesting location here. I don't really like using this location if I'm in my medium tanks, especially those with 5 degrees of gun depression like the Object 430. Furthermore, there are 2 nasty French Tier 9 artillery on the enemy team who are very likely to be hiding around in this location, and one of the only positions that the artillery can actually manage to shoot will be down here, down this alleyway along here. So a position like that, it really doesn't look too safe for the artillery, so Q is definitely taking some risks. But he manages to put his first shot into the T-34 anyway, and it looks like the artillery are either sleeping or don't see him as a threat. Alternative locations that you can use to be able to still work with your tanks with your poor gun depression in this position are where Q is showing you right now, and a lovely shot there into the top of the E100 turret. You don't even really need heat rounds to be able to go through the E100 if you can see the top bar up there. Does him proud, but unfortunately maybe that's where the artillery have been going for. The artillery take out his 2 platoon mates right at the start of the battle. That is rather unfortunate for his team because they look like they definitely know what they're doing. I bet you Q was probably laughing his little butt off right now, while his 2 platoon mates were probably rather unhappy that the artillery decided to focus him today. So Q puts another APCR round up to the top of the E100 there, but now he can no longer see that top bar, he's going to be firing heat rounds. However, noticing now that he has the lower plate of the E100, he switches back to the APCR, and that is the easiest shot I think you could hope to get. And this is where the Object 430 is just terrifying. This vehicle can literally fire 3 rounds for every time the E100 fires. Now, of course, if the E100 hits you, that's going to be 750 alpha damage, which is not very nice at all. But the 430 firing 3 times is a lot more than 750. In fact, what's it going to be? It's going to be 960 if you can manage to penetrate all 3 of those rounds. Absolutely monstrous stuff. So Q is going to make his way around the corner now and try and harass these tanks that he's got locked down in this location. Although he suddenly has to be careful right now, and that's because there is a Scorpion still skulking around at the back of the map. But I don't think he's going to let that bother him, and I think he realizes that he needs to try and hold the hill here and take advantage of the fact that the enemy team seem very distracted to try and kill the IS-3 and also the WZ-132. And so he finishes off the Grilla, he finishes off the IS-7, and seconds later, literally seconds later with the rate of fire on this tank, he finishes off the T-34. 3 quick kills in quick succession. Bit of a tongue twister there, nearly got me. So 4 kills now, 3,000 damage, not the highest amount of damage to have picked up 4 kills. But then again, he has played a very important role for his team in that position, just stopping them from taking the hill. And I think if the enemies had taken the hill there, I think the game would have been lost. I also think that it was a very good play by Q to actually risk his health to dish out some pain there. Sometimes when you're in the Object 430, you just have to go for it. And that is definitely one of these times right now. The Object 430 has the best frontal medium tank armor, I'd say, probably on any tank. I can't really think of a vehicle that has better angling with 120 millimeters. And even if you take a look at the sides as well, the sides are angled up here. So if they do manage to catch you in the side, then hopefully you can get a ricochet off the top of the hull as well, which is very nice indeed. So Q has just completely outpositioned this T-62A, and 2 ricochets off the front of his vehicle means that he doesn't even take any damage. Sorry, that was a T-55A. Whoops! Oh, bit of a mistake there, sorry about that. But yeah, no, he takes out the Tier 9 German medium tank, the cosplay vehicle, really, when you think about it. A German pretending to be a Soviet. I know, East Germany and all of that. Oh, I'm going to hear this in the comments below now. Oh, Mr. QuickyBaby is actually East Germany, you know this. Okay, fine guys, please, come on. So, his team are taking the cap circle, but unfortunately, not very many of them are left alive to be able to handle it. And now it's just him and a tortoise versus 7 vehicles on the enemy team. 5 tanks and 2 self-propelled guns, including a Bat-Chatillon, which is definitely going to be a thorough risk. Now the 430 may have great DPM, but when you suddenly start to have to deal with vehicles with autoloaders, it doesn't matter if you fire pretty much once every 3 or 4, 5, 6 seconds in this tank. You're definitely going to be losing your hit points very quickly against an autoloader that only has like a 2.7 second delay between its shells and the 1950 alpha damage that the Bat-Chatillon has. Now, for a moment there, Chapecout was 1 versus 7. Because the T-49 managed to kill the Tortoise before he killed the T-49 on the enemy team. But now he is alone in a 1 versus 6, and he's trying to find out where that TVP VTU is. He's trying to hunt, but unfortunately the T-49 manages to find him, and Chapecout wants to kill that T-49, but oh god, what is that? Okay, well this game just changed very quickly as he manages to finish off the T-49, turns his tank around, finishes off the TVP VTU who's falling down the slope, and we saw a full health Bat-Chat. I think it was at 1,800 hit points, just fly off the cliff, over his head, and he fails to squash him. And Chapecout is definitely now very much in this game. What an absolutely ridiculous situation there. Does it actually count that he killed the Bat-Chatillon? I don't think it does. Let's add it up. So the enemy have got 3 tanks left alive, and there have been 10 kills. Hold on. Does that mean there have been 2 suicides on the enemy team? I presume so? No, there's been 1 suicide on the enemy team, sorry. As he finishes off the Bat-Chat 155.55. So unfortunately, Chapecout doesn't manage to get that 1,800 hit points. But I guess he's just thanking his lucky stars now that he gets to have an opportunity to be able to pick up the Kolobanovs, right? The one that everybody wants. So 10 kills now. God, I just can't believe how much of a fail that was by the Bat-Chat. Now, of course, everybody probably wants to try and cliff dive on the enemy at the end of the game to have some fun. He was probably going, hey, he's probably looking at his mate in the platoon with the E-100. Hey, check this out. Look, I'm going to dive bomb on him. He doesn't look too clever now, does he? Well, I guess that's one way to be featured in a video on a channel such as mine or one of the other content creators' videos. Hey, he probably wanted to try and do something really cool and then send it into, I don't know, jingles on me. And then he's made himself in a video, but for a very different reason. So Chapecout drives by the Scorpion, puts 1 round into him, and even gives him a bit of a love bump there for a little bit of extra damage. And he comes around the corner, bounces a shell, and he shoots him and gives him another love bump for 59 damage there, taking out the Tier 8 German premium tank destroyer via ramming, now just shy of 7,000 damage, and changing his 1 versus 7 now into a 1 versus 1, and against a Bat-Chatillon 155.55. That player was one of the guys who took out his 2 platoon mates. Can you imagine what his 2 platoon mates are thinking right now? Both with 0 kills apiece. And Chapecout is on 11 kills in this game. You don't see this very often in your tier 10 games. It's very unusual to go above 10 kills and even get a pools medal in a tier 10 game, let alone when you start to get 11, 12. Each step is just far, far rarer to happen in World of Tanks. So what has Chapecout got to be thinking right now? Well, he's made a play here where he wants to try and aim down this way. Although I'm a little bit concerned about that because he's probably not going to spot the Bat-Chat before the Bat-Chat makes it into that bush. Do you see how he's aiming here at this bush? Surely that Bat-Chat might be able to make it here. He might not actually be able to do that. I think Chapecout has definitely thought this one through. What he's probably trying to wait for right now is when he sees there's somebody else in the cap circle. Because obviously, if you're on an encounter version, if somebody's in the cap circle along with you, then the bar stops slowly creeping up. And so he can tell if the Bat-Chat has made his way into the buildings over here, or alternatively tries to sneak his way in here. So by being on the edge and facing this way, he's effectively stopping the Bat-Chatillon from sneaking up on him. The only thing I think I'd be really worried about if I was him right now is he's left a little bit of a blind spot, even a blind spot in here that the Bat-Chatillon could probably sneak his way up and then be able to get a shot through here, and that would be rather awkward. Only on 331 hit points, he's definitely not going to be taking a shell from the 155mm gun on the enemy team. So he decides to reverse around, probably figuring out that the Bat-Chat is not coming from the south, and there he is. The Bat-Chat's managed to sneak his way into the cap circle, alerted to it, and now Chapacu has to try and deal with this tier 9 French self-propelled gun. And it doesn't look like he was actually spotted there. Did his sixth sense go off? I'm pretty sure the bat chat did not quite manage to glimpse him there, and that allows him to get the first shot off, and that's very important indeed, because now both tanks are effectively a one-shot for each other. Although, you know what, there's a chance that if the bat chat just splashes nearby him that the 430 could probably take the shell here. As he comes around the corner, oh god, where did the bat chat go? But now he's left the cap circle. There he is. Will he find the shell? Yes, he will. 7,400 damage, securing the 12th kill in a tier 10 game. And what a ridiculous round this was. Oh, we've got to have a quick action replay of that bat chat, guys. Seeing that still cracks me up every time. What a ridiculous moment in a fantastic game here for Chapacu in the tier 10 Soviet medium tank. Chapacu takes down a plethora of hero medals here. He manages to get the one that everyone wants, the Kolobanov's medal for standing alone against at least 5 opponents, in this case 7, the Pools medal for his 12 kills, a Defender medal for interrupting the cap circle against that Scorpion. He also gets himself a Naden's medal, which is for destroying all of the enemy light tanks on the enemy team, at least 3, and also a crucial contribution medal, and that's for picking up 12 kills in a platoon. Do you know what's hilarious about this crucial contribution medal is the fact that his 2 platoon mates didn't get a single kill each, and they were only able to do 400 damage between them. I bet you Chapacu is going to be giving them a very good ribbing for the rest of their playtime together. And unsurprisingly as well, a high caliber medal for his 7,400 damage done, 1,420 for base experience points, and he didn't even really fire much heat ammunition, so he actually makes a profit even without a premium account here. So Chapacu, thank you so much for uploading this on the What Replays website and sharing it with the community. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and hopefully you guys did as well. If you did, please consider giving this video a like. It really helps the channel out. And let me know in the comments your most memorable moment where somebody has done something really stupid and thrown a game that should have been a certain win. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.